NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've always wanted to go. I'm a huge race fan since I was a little kid, since the late 70s. So this was a big thrill for me.
But you can almost hear the thunder. The morning sun welcomes the arrival of race teams.
After a short film, you move into the main hall, where there's a very impressive collection of actual race cars. And as you can see, they're set up on a simulated track to demonstrate the banking of the different racetracks, how steep it is. And just by luck, I got to be part of a very important ceremony. Here's a hint. I had no idea that was coming. Anyway, here's some of the other cars on this track. Here's Big Bertha. Darrell Waltrip won a lot of races in this car, so seeing these brought back a lot of memories. Davey Allison and his dad Bobby were my favorite back then. Here's Neil Bonnet's race car when he drove for the Wood Brothers. Of course, you got to have Senior, Gordon, and Johnson in there. This press conference was to unveil their Darlington Throwback paint scheme for this year. Steve Latart, Bubba Wallace, Dale Inman, and Richard Petty.
I can't say that I've seen the all-blue look, so you're going to have to give me the history of the scheme.
We stood there and talked a little bit, and so Bill Bridge, who was their PR man, said, let's sit down, you spend the night and talk about this, get it worked out. So sent Bill and Wade on to
I took these pictures and video from my seat in the second row of this press conference. It was a cool experience. I've never been to anything like that before. After they got done talking, they mingled with the crowd and the media. I got to meet Richard Petty, get his autograph. He's taller than I thought, or I'm shorter than I thought. I'm not sure. But here's his autograph on my ticket. I got to meet Bubba Wallace. He's the driver. And Steve Latart. He used to be the crew chief for Dale Jr. Now he's a TV analyst. But this sheet of paper is his actual notes that he had for this press conference. And I asked him for it, and he signed it for me. Here's the car that they're trying to represent in the new paint job. At Darlington, I think it looks awesome. At Darlington, they all have old school paint jobs like the old days. I also got to meet Dale Inman, who was the original crew chief for the number 43. And shaking his hand, it was heavy with all the championship rings. Continuing on into the Hall of Honor, this is where they have the newest. They have all the inductees, and then they have displays for the newest, the people who were inducted this year. So it was really interesting, and there was one for Ray Everham. This is for Robert Yates.
He was serious about his racing. He was serious about winning. He could look at something and just know that it had to be fixed. For his father at age 14.
My dad was a very good provider by making.
And as you can see, this place is slam-packed full of old trophies they collected over the years. You won't believe all the displays that they had. This car is an original moonshine runner. It's owned by Ray Everham now, who loaned it to the museum. This is one of my favorites. I just love the look of this old, unrestored race car. It shows how it was back then. And again, all the uniforms and helmets, this place is slam-packed. So there's something to look at, on every floor. There's 4 floors. Here's a few more of the artifacts and stuff that I thought was interesting. That was Donnie Allison's helmet when they had the big fight at Daytona. There's Bobby and Davey Allison's fire suits, and also Richard Petty. But there's so many things to look at. Here's Butch Lindley. He was from Greenville, where I live. There's so many things to look at. Also, a lot of the displays are meant to be interactive, where you can actually get your hands on something and see how it works. But I'd recommend the NASCAR Hall of Fame to anyone, not just hardcore race fans, but anybody could have a good time. There's only $25 to get in the door. Kids are cheaper. You could pay more if you want some extras. They have other things to look at besides NASCAR. This blue car actually won the Indy 500, which I thought was very exciting. And this video is just an example. I couldn't even show you the tip of the iceberg of everything that's in here in a 7-minute video, but I think you get the gist of it. They have a great restaurant too, and really reasonable. All the condiments were in this cool little toolbox thing. Yeah, I asked for my hot dogs to be all the way, and boy, that's what I got. They were good. Here is the souvenir shop, where they have some interesting things that you won't find anywhere else. I used to sell NASCAR diecast for a living, so I was very interested in all the diecasts they had, and they had tons of it. Here's a cool Jeff Gordon car. They're not exactly cheap. That's about average. That's what you'd pay at a racetrack. Here's some of the old school ones. Anyway, I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please put in the comment section who your favorite driver is, either new or old. I think it'd be interesting. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.